And here is our Zerg player who is currently at a 2-0 in his group. He is undefeated thus far in this tournament. It is none other than MVP's DongRaeGu.
And at the bottom left, we have in blue and blue colors, we have the Terran player jjakji. And he was already able to take his first win against Zerg. He was able to take out Lenok. And now, of course, he wants to beat DongRaeGu as well. That would be a really important win for jjakji. He's 1-1 in the group at the moment. DongRaeGu, of course, by winning this match, could already ensure that he advances to the next stage of the tournament. We have cross position on Calm Before the Storm, really huge distances between the two bases, and I guess that both players will go for an early expansion. We've seen a lot of Terran players going for that 14 command center. We might see jjakji doing exactly the same, or maybe he's going to throw down that barracks before he gets his command center. But looking at the production tab, I seriously doubt it. I guess he will start with the CC, while DRG already started with his Nexus, with his hatchery, and he has the command center for jjakji.
Yes, indeed, and I gotta point out that DongRaeGu is just so much the favorite in this match. jjakji has had fairly good results against Zergs in tournaments in the past, but most of those Zergs have not been of the caliber of DongRaeGu. You know, he's been in some iCup tournaments, some ESV tournaments. He's beaten players like Life and Curious. Well, Curious has been doing a lot better lately. Lucky, etc. But he has not been able to have the success against players like Lucira and Lenok that he's been facing lately as he's been getting higher up in these tournaments. So he's got his work cut out for him. jjakji has some proving to do here and needs to win this game to, frankly, stay alive in this group.
And I'm actually eager to see if DongRaeGu, with the two players spawning on cross positions, if DongRaeGu is going for those 7 roaches again on 2 base that we've seen him use against Ganzi, and he was quite successful in doing so, though this might be kind of interesting. Let's have a look what DongRaeGu is up to. He's on 18 harvest supply against 19. Those 2 barracks for jjakji just finished. And he will take his gas fairly soon, while DongRaeGu, with the gas that he has, is already getting metabolic boost. And as you might noticed, he is still mining gas. So this will probably result in a roach warren being built in a bunch of roaches. Could, of course, also be a baneling nest, but I guess we'll see a roach warren pretty soon.
Yeah, it's very likely that we are going to see him get enough gas to pop out a bunch of roaches. Maybe when he gets those 2 queens out, he'll do a couple injects and get 7 or 8 roaches, something like that. Can be very strong. Well, let's see. We don't see a roach warren just yet. But it can be very strong against, Terran players. They'd like to go for their reactor Hellions.
Oh, fast lair. Fast lair for DongRaeGu.
Interesting.
I mean, with the roach warren play, which probably you get it around 30 supply.
Yeah.
So that wasn't too bad. But an early lair, early 2-base Mutalisks probably. This is going to be cool.
Interesting. Now the thing is it's kind of interesting that the roach warren play. Oh, is it SCV? No, it's not going to get in. The roach warren play would have been good against a reactor Hellion expand or something like that, but jjakji is going all bio right now. He doesn't even have any add-ons on his barracks. He's just going all Marines at the moment. Yeah, and the other thing is that with the cross position on this map, we've mentioned it before, the distances between the 2 bases are just really, really long, so that roach attack would hit really late, and therefore the RG just... Well, for me, it's, I have to admit that for me, sometimes it's a little bit hard to judge the distances on this map. Yeah, I know that it's a fairly large map, but seeing those Marines trying to move across the map just makes me realize once more how big that map actually is in terms of the walking distances. So a roach attack would be a waste of time, because at the time the roaches actually arrive, there would be no way that they could deal the damage that they need to deal in order to make up for the cost they cause. And we have a command center and a hidden spire, which is amazing. So as soon as the overlords have the ability to spread creep, he does exactly that and hides the spire, so that even with scans, jjakji won't be able to detect that there is an early spire and a threat of Mutalisks. Yeah, this is really interesting. This is almost a StarCraft 1 style play, going for the 2 hatch mutas and just defending off that. He's going to try and put on a lot of aggression, and basically he's going to try and punish jjakji for being so greedy. He's going ahead and getting a 3rd base already. but I don't know if he's going to be able to punish jjakji for that because he's getting a lot of Marines, and that's what he needs to defend against Mutalisks if he does go for that play. So I don't know if this is going to pay off for DRG.
jjakji is really playing mineral heavy so far. We just saw him take those 2 refineries late in the game. Here's another inject by the Queen, and we have 10 Zerglings in order to deal with that pressure. There has been 1 Spine Crawler built by DRG already. He's on 56 supply, 68, and here is that Spire ready to go. +1 attack is being researched, and the first Mutalisks being built, 7 in total, and they will hit fairly early in the game. So let's have a look how jjakji is going to respond to that Muta threat.
Interesting, yeah, and he's now taking, now that DongRaeGu has those Mutas out, he's now taking his 3rd base at the right side of the map, which I'm sure jjakji expected him to have taken earlier, so he may get caught off guard by this. He does have an engineering bay, I believe, but I don't think he's preparing any turrets just yet. No sign of turrets going up right now. So jjakji might just get caught off guard by this, and we're going to see if DongRaeGu can use that mobility to dodge those Marines and kill some SCVs.
And DongRaeGu is already starting to build up additional Spine Crawlers. He will need them in case that jjakji is just going for an all-out attack as soon as he spots those Mutalisks. And the Mutalisks are in the main base, are attacking the SCVs right away, taking out quite a lot of them. jjakji is not reacting at all. Now pulling off the SCVs, but losing a lot of them in the process. The Marines come to rescue, but still DongRaeGu able to deny mining, to kill a lot of workers.
Yeah, those he killed a lot of SCVs there. Those Mutalisks have basically already almost paid for themselves, but jjakji's fallen back with all of his Marines, and he's got them split into different groups at all of his bases, so I don't think DongRaeGu is going to be able to accomplish any more, unfortunately.
DongRaeGu is on 3 bases right now, and he didn't have to deal with a Marine attack. One option for jjakji, of course, would have been a straight-out attack as soon as he realized DongRaeGu was going for those early Mutalisks, as he had a whole lot of Marines on the field.
Yeah.
We have now the tech, we have tanks and the tech upgrade for the siege tanks. We have Stim being researched as well, and of course now with the engineering bay being built, jjakji is also getting a bunker. And DongRaeGu is still focusing on those Mutalisks. He already has a lot of them, 16 in total.
Yeah, no, he's pretty much just, I mean, he's kind of getting his 3rd base going, droning it up, and he's spending his minerals on drones and his gas on Mutalisks, basically, building up that meter count. He does have the +1 weapons, I believe, for them is finished now. So they're going to be pretty strong. Getting out even more Mutalisks. He's going to have a flock of a couple dozen Mutalisks right now, and that could be pretty powerful. But again, he still needs to avoid those Marines, not engage them directly.
What I like about DongRaeGu as well is that even though he is focusing on an air-heavy play, he is still continuously spreading his creep. If you have a look at the minimap, and there's another creep tumor, and this is just so important. He doesn't really need to spread that creep right now because he's focusing on that Muta play, but later on it will be really important. As soon as the Terran player tries to engage and tries to attack, DongRaeGu, by the way, taking out a lot more Marines right now and focusing on eliminating those add-ons in order to force the Terran player to rebuild them, lose the time to produce additional Marines. But as I was saying, with that creep, that will be really important later on when the Terran player tries to engage, tries to attack DongRaeGu. So spreading that is so important, and he's doing a perfect job of that.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's got a nice purple line going up the middle of the map. He's almost gotten halfway across this very large map with that creep. So good stuff on him. He's continuing to produce Mutalisks. He's actually getting the +1 armor for the Mutalisks as well. He's now getting 1-1 for his ground. He's now transitioning into more getting some ground army as well, getting the Baneling speed, getting the 1-1 upgrades for his Zerglings rather, getting a few Banelings on the map. But these +1 upgraded Mutalisks can just engage these small groups of Marines very easily and take them out very quickly.
Yeah, especially after they stim. I mean, every stim they lose 10 HP, so if you over-stim your Marines, then you will be in a lot of trouble as soon as the Zerg player decides that he's actually able to deal with those Marines, that he doesn't retreat anymore with the Mutalisks.
Yep.
And there are more and more Mutalisks built the whole entire time, and DongRaeGu is upgrading everything. He's taking additional bases, he's getting the armor upgrade, not only for the Mutalisks, but also for his ground army. He's getting that speed for the Banelings. Look at that. We have a Roach Warren.
That production tab is crazy.
He's just going insane right now.
He's building everything, and yeah, so 1-1's going to be very soon completed for those Mutas. And they're going to be able to deal with... I'm not sure, actually. Do you know what the upgrades are for those Marines right now? Have you checked that?
He doesn't have it.
He doesn't have any upgrades. Wow.
Not to my knowledge.
1-1 mutas are extremely good against unupgraded Marines because they can do that extra damage and they don't take as much damage. I mean, obviously, if there's a large group of Marines, then they'll still beat the Mutalisks just by sheer DPS.
There's a drop attempt by jjakji being prepared, but there has also been a Spore Crawler in production early on. And no, the Spore Crawler not in range, but the Zerglings are able to take out a few of the Marines. Retreating though, the Spore Crawler didn't finish just yet. 20 Mutalisks on the map. Here's a bunch of them, as are a lot of Zerglings trying to repel that drop. He's able to do so. And still DongRaeGu in a dominating position, taking out another drop. He's at 191 supply against 173, and here's jjakji trying to move out, and I was wrong. Actually, there has already been an upgrade, an armor upgrade for the Marines. +2 is nearly done, and jjakji now getting another command center, while DongRaeGu not only getting Pathogen Glance and 2-2 for his ground army, but the Hive Tech as well.
Yeah, and now that he sees his army moving out a little bit, he says, alright, well, I don't know if I can bring him back into his base with these mutas. Now we see him making the Banelings and getting out more Zerglings, so he has some ground army to defend against this. +2 armor being researched for his Mutalisks. He is really, really going heavy on those mutas.
As in the game against Lenok, jjakji mixed it up a little bit. He built 2 Thors, 1 or 2 of them. Yeah, here we go, 2 Thors. Yeah. And that's so important when you're facing a Mutalist, that you just have something in your arsenal that prevents the Mutalist from clustering. Here we go, now the Mutalist trying to magic box their way through the Thors, and the Marines are not there to defend the Thors, but DRG losing so many units.
Yeah.
Nice control by jjakji right there, and yeah, DongRaeGu in a little bit of trouble. Will he be able to hold against the push?
He tried to go in when the tanks were unsieged, but they were in the process of sieging, so it did kill a lot of units. Banelings were not able to land as much. I think he's still probably going to be able to hold this off. There's a lot of Banelings there, and some more Zerglings coming out. Here he comes in. Zerglings taking the lead. The tanks were damaged from before, so they are going to go down very quickly, actually using some Banelings on that Thor to finish it off.
Wow.
And DongRaeGu annihilates the remainder of jjakji's army.
Even without those +2/+2 upgrades, but there are the reinforcements, and he needs to be careful. Oh, wasting those Banelings on the tanks, and the Marines are now able to kill the Mutalisk. There's a +2 armor upgrade coming up for the Mutalisks too, but not in time. And already the Terran player researches the +3 attack for his Marines. Oh my god, this is a really intense game right now. DongRaeGu losing a lot more units than he expected, and jjakji with a very, very nice push, trying to put some pressure now on the 4th base of the Zerg player.
Yeah, he is making yet more Mutalisks though. He says, okay, well, I've taken out those Thors. Now if you, now I can still use my mutas to an advantage if you don't make more Thors. So, and right now he doesn't have any more Thors in that army. He scans and sees that there's more Mutalisks have been produced. Was he going to engage? No. He's gonna have to fall back.
We're seeing Ultralisk once more, building that Ultralisk cavern.
And he is making some infestors as well. I believe he already upgraded the pathogen glands. So those infestors are going to be able to fungal as soon as they pop out of their egg. I'm not sure how a large infestor comes out of such a small egg, but it happens.
If you're wondering about the infestor, what about the Ultralisk?
Yeah, well, that's an even better question. Giant Ultralisk, huge, supersized beast popping out of an egg the size of a Zergling.
70, is that 70 or 79 Marines? 77 Marines right now. That's a huge number of Marines attacking the 4th base, and here are all those Banelings. Whoa! And most of them die in the tanks. Oh my god, DongRaeGu is just losing so many units, and those Mutalisks just can't attack the Marines. They can't engage, but here's a fungal, and now finally at least some of the Marines bit the dust. Here's another attempt of jjakji to retreat, but the Medivacs get killed as well. DongRaeGu clearing that army of jjakji, but not before taking some heavy losses himself.
Yeah, DongRaeGu just somehow keeps barely managing to hold off these attacks. He's rebuilt his Mutalisk flock, so he's got a very good solid amount there as well. And looks like 3 Banelings for jjakji. Yeah, they're just gonna die there. But yeah, DongRaeGu just keep barely holding things off. and that's putting him in a little bit pretty good position. I'm not actually sure if jjakji has a 4th base right now.
He built one earlier, but I don't think he really put it into a position at some of the mineral lines. I have to admit, though, that jjakji plays he really impresses me in this game. He has the Thor in his army once more in order to deal with the Mutalisk.
Okay, there's
and
the 4th.
At the same time, we have DongRaeGu going for the Chitinous Plating, building 4 Ultralisks, getting the +3 armor and the +3 melee attack upgrade. This game is just so nice. This is really what you want to see. And here we go. Oh, a little bit of Miss Micro with the Marines transfusing his queen. And I have no idea what those Marines did. Guys, you are not Chuck Norris. I'm sorry for that.
No, those Marines were a little bit misguided, but they were able to find out what the Zerg army had. But it's a maxed army, and oh, he cannot engage 4 Ultralisks. They actually only take 55 seconds or 50 seconds now to build. It's still a long time. They finally finish. 4 Ultralisks just popping out. They do have the chitinous plating, and they're going to have 3-3 very soon as well. So I think DongRaeGu needs to wait for that to engage, but here they go.
This is exciting, and the Ultralisk immediately being target fired by the Marines, and there are the Banelings trying to connect, but he's not able to. Still, DongRaeGu losing a ton of units. He's able to kill most of the tanks. Here come the Infestors once more for another fungal. 164 supply for the Terran player, gets 187. DongRaeGu trying to max out once more. He's still waiting for the +3 attack and +3 armor upgrade. They didn't finish just yet. But wow, what an amazing game. I really enjoy that so much right now.
This is crazy, and I like that transfusing those injured Ultralisks. Those are expensive units, and they almost died in that battle. He got them out, transfusing them so they're able to fight in the next battle.
God, I love it.
Yeah, 3-3 is almost about to complete. Oh, Ghosts and Cloak.
Oh, he cancels
Wait, he cancels Cloak to go for the Mobius reactor instead.
And we have another sensor tower. I like that about jjakji so much. He makes good use of that sensor tower. There are so many Terrans out there who neglect the sensor tower and his importance, especially in the later stages of the game. So I really love that play. +3 is done, by the way, for DongRaeGu. And I'm not quite sure. I think he didn't get the Adrenal Glance upgrade, did he?
I haven't seen it yet, but he is going to have 3-3 Ultralisks, which are absolutely terrifying. And he's got, I think, 2-2 on his mutas as well. He's getting +3 armor for his mutas even, so they will be able to stand up to Marine fire very well as well, even though with the +3 weapons.
I'm a little bit scared about those ghosts, though. jjakji is doing an awesome job so far. He's getting the +3 armor upgrade now. He already has +3 attack. Oh, he needs to repair that sensor tower. If he, he's probably going to
burn down.
Yep, there's another one, and here come some Ultralisks and Banelings as well. The Banelings killing!
Oh! All the SCVs going down to those Banelings and the Planetary. The Ultralisks are going to get killed off by these Marines.
Wow.
But Mutalisk getting free tank kills over here. No, the Ghosts have none of that.
The snipes immediately eliminating some of the Mutalisks.
This is insane.
Yeah, Mutalisks are so fast to snipe. And jjakji, he tries to put some pressure on DongRaeGu himself, but the Zerg player is maxed out already once more. jjakji in the meantime at 153 supply, trying to reinforce his army with additional ghosts, getting the +2 attack upgrade for his tanks, and of course expanding once more. This is just such an intense game. I really love how those two players go at each other.
2 Banelings for 1 Marine, not the best trade, but these mutas are probably going to clean up that medevac regardless. There it goes down, the Marines are going to die as well. And neither player's really been able to expand for a while, but DongRaeGu had the better expansions before, so he's still got a little bit better economy. You can see by the fact that he's been able to get maxed out again, whereas jjakji is a little behind, resorting to drop play to try and harass.
We have DongRaeGu on about 80 drones, and here's a huge army of the Zerg players. So many Banelings, the Ultralisks as well as the Festers in the back. And here we go. Will jjakji be able to hold the attack? Oh!
The tank's in good position. There's a choke point there. A nice hit. Kills tons of Banelings there. And DongRaeGu decides to fall back and just try and hunt expansions rather than engage that main army. SCV, that is the luckiest SCV ever.
No.
What? Maybe not. No, never mind. Wow.
That SCV was like, okay, I'm invisible,
Exactly.
don't move, don't move,
Exactly.
damn.
If I don't move, they can't see me.
Smile and wave, yeah, well, didn't work. And here are the Mutalisks once more trying to take out that expansion attempt by jjakji, and the +2 attack upgrade for the units being researched. jjakji is still trying to put some pressure on DongRaeGu. He tries to drop the whole time, but he is just not able to, because DongRaeGu has a perfect vision of the map. He knows about everything, and he has a perfect answer to every drop attempt of the Terran player. Really well done, and will he be able? Yes, he's going to magic box that Thor, isn't he? Hell yeah, here we go. Killing the Thor, and now he'll be able to take out those mules. A second Thor is joining the battle though, and now jjakji is losing more tanks. DongRaeGu just wearing the Terran player out.
There's the GG indeed. DongRaeGu just too powerful, and jjakji just couldn't get any more expansions up. Every time he tried to expand, the Mutalisks would come in, or something would stop him, and he would just basically run out of money, whereas DongRaeGu was still going strong. So DongRaeGu is at 3-0 in the group right now. He has secured a spot in the round of 8, I believe.
Yeah, but talking about jjakji, I mean, you have to give credit where credit is due. jjakji played an amazing game in the end. DongRaeGu proved to be the better player, but jjakji, really impressive performance today so far. I really like what we've just seen. And he has to play Slayer's Ganzi later on in the Terran versus Terran mirror match. Actually, you can just say if he'll be able to advance in this group.
Yeah, jjakji is at 1 win and 2 losses now, so his only hope is to beat Ganji and get into a tie situation at 2-2 right now. So it's going to be tough for him. But next up, we're going to have Killer versus Leenock. Leenock is having a bad day today. He's lost his 2 games so far. He's going to try to, the only way Leenock can do anything in this group is, again, he has to beat Killer and DongRaeGu and somehow try and get into a desperate tie situation if he has any chance of staying alive.
And I might be wrong, but I've just had a look at the results, and if I'm not mistaken, if Killer is able to defeat Leenock and jjakji defeats Ganzi, then we will have the perfect tie situation with 3 players being tied up in the group, and as none of them was able to defeat the other 2 opponents in the games before, we had that scenario yesterday, it would be a 3-way tie, a perfect 3-way tie.
Yeah, and then we would go to tiebreaker games after that to determine the winner.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have another Protoss versus coming up. We have Killer against Leenock on dual side. And this is going to be pretty interesting, especially as Leenock seems to be struggling a lot today.
Yeah, we're going to find out in just a second if Leenock can bring his A game, or his S game rather, to this next game. And play a little bit better against Killer. Let's get into the game.